welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast. I am your host, Suzie Hunter. Happy Friday. We're going to have a little casual Friday here on the DNVR Rockies Podcast. We're going to have Herb Lawrence joining the show in just a second. But listen, here's what we're talking about today. Jon Gray gets his first World Series parade today. We're going to really overanalyze this parade because a lot of people are saying it looked kind of dull, and I agree. We are going to talk about some Rockies news. We've got some Rockies weddings this weekend. We're going to break it down. And we do have a big contest from DNVR. We're going to tell you about that later in the show, so stay tuned. But first, let's kick it off. Let's talk to Herb Lawrence of CHGO. Herb, where you at? How you doing? How is the off season treating you so far?
Let me try and fix this.
Hold on, Herb. I think someone has muted you. Either someone.
It was me. Sorry.
I'm
you.
bad
at that.
We're back.
No,
I'm like, who?
no,
Did I?
No, I mute myself all the time. I do this all the time when we're on remote. I'm sorry for you DNVR Rockies people who are listening to me for the first time. I mess up all the time. But my off season has gone well.
I'm gonna start this over. We've got Herb Lawrence of CHGO. Herb, how are you doing? And how is your off season going?
I'm doing well, and my off season has started off a little rocky, not to have the pun there, but the White Sox do what White Sox do all the time. We can learn this week that Tony La Russa is sitting in on meetings in the front office for the White Sox. So as White Sox fans, that is not a welcome sight. I know people hear the name Tony La Russa and they're probably like, oh, it's a good, revered Hall of Fame baseball person. Why wouldn't you want that? White Sox fans have recent PTSD with that guy because of his way he manages and how the team was so bad in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, that was my initial question. I guess explain to us Rockies fans why current White Sox fans don't like this. Why is this bad? Because, again, he's been in the game forever.
It was a whole thing. Like in 2020, the White Sox went to the World Series, the playoffs for the first time in probably 12 years. And that team was ascending. And then they fired Ricky Renteria after they lost the A's in the first round. And so we're like, okay, we're getting a progressive manager that's going to lead this young group of Black, Latino, white cats, hip, fresh, cool guys. The kids can play, Tim Anderson leading that group. And then Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the White Sox, usurps the power of both the vice president of baseball operations, Ken Williams, and the general manager, Rick Hahn at the time. And he inserts Tony La Russa as the manager. Goes over both of those guys' heads, and that from there, White Sox fans are like, this is a mistake if Jerry Reinsdorf wants him, because there's a very, very hate-filled relationship between White Sox and Jerry Reinsdorf. Even though he's brought us the championship in 2005, most White Sox fans do not like Jerry Reinsdorf at all. And so Tony La Russa was successful in 2021. The team won the AL Central. But 2022 started doing some things where White Sox fans weren't jiving with it. He was falling asleep in the dugout, famously, if you've seen it. And we've seen that subsequently he's had health problems. That's kind of why White Sox fans didn't want him, because we're not ageist necessarily, but he's up in age. And so we knew these things would come in. He'll fall asleep in the middle of the game. He battled with cancer after his White Sox tenure. And he also had I think a pacemaker installed. So he had physical problems with him, and that wasn't, the problem the White Sox fans had with him. It was his actual baseball mind at the time was still back in 1990. Baseball's moving forward. So anytime you have a guy like that instructing young, fresh, impressionable kids, especially with the 3 rings that he has, it's going to be a bad thing, because he's still teaching 1990s baseball in 2023. And I don't want him around the team that's already bad, 101 losses this year, to continue to be with this team, because ever since he's got on the team, it seems like the fun, the hip, the good team that the White Sox had has gone away.
That is very interesting. Also, very interesting to note how similar of a position we are in, Rocks and Sox. You guys lost 101 games. We just lost 103 games. Very interesting stuff. So, yeah, I gotta say, I could see why, from your perspective, from what you've told me, I could see why fans would be so frustrated with, a guy like Tony La Russa who doesn't even go here. He doesn't work here anymore. What is he doing in these front office meetings, helping and consulting with like big business decisions when the team's trying to move forward?
Yeah, and it was in August when they fired Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams to replace those two guys. Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner, consulted with Tony La Russa, and I put two and two together. If he consulted with Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Reinsdorf hired Chris Getz, who wasn't qualified for the job when he took it because he was bad at the job that he was at before, which was minor league farm director for the White Sox, which the White Sox are one of the worst minor league farm systems in baseball. So he got promoted. He's the Peter Principle incarnate. And so if this guy said that Chris Getz is the guy you should hire because it happened a week and a half after he fired the two guys, I'm sure that he has some influence with Jerry Reinsdorf to get that guy in the building firstly. And then with Chris Getz, he kind of owes him a favor. He has the ear of Jerry Reinsdorf. And during Tony La Russa's time as manager, as the White Sox manager, you can tell that he was the number one guy at the White Sox. Like, moves that were made were because Tony La Russa wanted to make, not necessarily because Rick Hahn or Kenny Williams wanted to make. And so I'm sure, and it was reported after Rick Hahn got fired, that Rick wanted to quit a couple times, but Jerry Reinsdorf wouldn't let him because he felt so disrespected by Tony La Russa and the hiring of Tony La Russa, and then Tony La Russa having a higher profile on the team than the general manager. So this is a long-time thing with White Sox fans, Tony La Russa, Jerry Reinsdorf, and it's not going away. That's what we were kind of like hoping when they fired Rick and Kenny. The old's out. Those guys have been here for 20 plus years. Now we're going to forward. Even though we don't like the general manager they picked, we're still moving forward because we got some young front office members. We got Brian Bannister from the Giants, got Josh Barfield from the Diamondbacks, and other people, and just got Paul Yanish, who was at Rice University, helping those kids as associate head coach. So we're getting some young youth, some analytically based people, and then you bring back dinosaur Tony La Russa. Sucks.
Yeah, for sure. I guess the reason I brought you on, hearing about all of the drama happening within the White Sox right now, I'm not going to lie, makes me feel a little bit better about the mess that we've seen with the Rockies the past several seasons, inside, outside, all around it. Who do you think has it worse? Do I have it worse or do you have it worse? How are you feeling about your White Sox right now?
I don't think any fan base has it worse than the White Sox fan base because I think, and I don't say this flippantly, Jerry Reinsdorf presents a strong face and he says that he wants to win quickly for the White Sox fans. But I think the White Sox organization doesn't like their fans, like actively does not like their fans because they do everything they can do to alienate them. And so I think there's no team even close to what the White Sox have. People are like the A's, that the owner is leaving the building in shambles and they're moving to a different city. You got a point there, but the White Sox owner pretty much has alienated fans from back in the day. Like, he was probably to blame for the strike that happened the other day, or that happened in '94.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like would always collude to keep the prices down. And I don't know if you know this, Susie, like the White Sox are only, I think, one of three teams that have never signed a free agent player to $100,000 or $100 million contract or more. Their highest, can you take a guess who their highest free agent signing in the history of White Sox is?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think, I mean,
is it a rando? Is it a rando?
He's still on the team right
recent? Now. He's on the
recent.
team.
Yeah.
Is it Mike Clevenger?
It was not Mike Clevenger, and I'm glad he's gone. It's Andrew Benintendi. That's the highest signed player in the history of the White Sox, $75 million for 5 years. So this is why White Sox have a terrible situation. And as I said, minor league situation, bad.
Would you rather be in the situation you're in right now where your team has never spent real big money on a free agent? Or would you rather have your team be in the Padres situation, actual poverty franchise where they have to take out a loan to pay the players?
I'd rather be where the Padres are because at least they try. They tried to get they tried to get where they had to go, and yes, they might have to sell some players off, but I don't think Padre fans are necessarily angry at Preller or I forgot the owner's name, Peter Seidler.
Mm-hmm.
White Sox fans are definitely angry with Jerry Reinsdorf. And speaking for the Colorado Rockies, I know you guys don't necessarily like your owner, but you signed Chris Bryant, even though that hasn't worked out. That's $150 million deal.
Oh, it's actually it's 182.
Don't remind me, Herb.
Yes,
that is tough.
Kale wants to chime in here because when you said you would rather be the Padres type of poverty franchise,
yes,
Kale jaw hit the floor. Kale,
the Padres are going to have to end their franchise. That's how many players they're going to have to ship off. They can't pay their dues.
They're going to go out of business. It's going to be a Spirit Halloween in a month.
Literally, we were in San Diego for training camp and everybody was talking about how the city's alive for the Padres. And I'm just now I'm my heart breaks for all those fans because they're about to be gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted.
But the thing is, though, the baseball team might be still good because they have a good system. And if they're going to be trading all these players away, I'm sure they're going to be getting some premium talent back. So I think the Padres are in a much better situation. Just watch one White Sox baseball game this year, and you would change your mind. The only player we have on the team is Luis Robert Jr.
Dude, have you watched the Rockies?
Yes. During the series, the White Sox played versus the Rockies, and they played the Cubs later. That Brenton Doyle, I know you probably don't think great things about him. He is a superstar on the field, especially.
No, we love Brenton Doyle.
We love Brenton Doyle. Don't you worry.
Okay, because I know
guys.
He's not a big name, but he was catching every damn ball that was hitting the outfield, and that's a cavernous outfield.
Cavernous, exactly. Look at Herb Lawrence whipping out the SAT words up in here. I love it. Herb, before I let you go, before I let you get on with your weekend, this is the question I've been asking people all around the office, all around line. Did you enjoy this postseason, and did you think this was a good World Series? Floor is yours.
I thought the World Series was good, even though it was a 4-1 victory by the Rangers. I mean, those games were kind of close, and the fourth game got out of hand, and so did Game 5. But I thought it was competitive. I thought the fourth game was kind of a give up by Arizona. When you're throwing out relievers out there, I mean, what do you expect? Especially versus a team that hits like Texas Rangers. Now, the postseason in general, I know people are complaining that some of the big time seeds got out in the AL and LDS, but hey, man, that's what you get, man. You got to be ready for the playoff series. I like the upsets. I love the Phillies doing what they did out there. I'm jealous of all the Phillies because 1 through 4 are the players that I wanted. Schwarber, we had a meeting with Bryce Harper. Nick Castellanos was in town with the Cubs. Loved him there. It was just a great atmosphere, and those teams are just so good. So I liked this postseason more than I liked other ones in the past. I know it wasn't really watched, especially the World Series, because of the participants, but I'm good with just good baseball, and I thought we saw good baseball this year.
You know what, Herb? I agree with you. Welcome everyone to this podcast where everyone agrees with everyone. No, I thought this was a really fun World Series. I thought it was entertaining. I thought every game, there were some blowouts in there, but it was still good baseball. Mm-hmm. And that's the win right there. Herb, anything you want to plug before I send you on your way? Where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter. It is Ecknerwall23. That's just Lawrence spelled backwards. And I'm there, and I'm on CHGO White Sox 5 days a week, 2:30 Mountain Time. So every day.
Thank you for converting.
That's one thing I can do. That's my only superpower I have.
You can do math. I can't do math. So huge development. Herb, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of this off season. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again, but thank you again for coming on.
Thank you, Suzie.
All right. Herb is such a hero. That makes me want to talk about Hero Bread. I'm so obsessed with Hero Bread. They make They are doing the low carb lifestyle, but in a way where you can't even freaking tell. I have these wraps at home. I think the biggest compliment you can say about something that is, low carb, this tastes like a wrap. It feels like a wrap. The texture's on point. These are great. I've been making breakfast wraps with them almost every morning, and they are it. They are it. But yeah, the taste, texture, it's fantastic. They have bread too. But yeah, it's high fiber, low net carbs, no sugar per slice of bread. It's where it's at. It's where it's at. And you can find them online. You can find them at hero.co. You can find them on Amazon too. And it's fewer calories than the leading national bread brands. And also you're getting 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving, which is great because I'm bulking up. I'm thinking about running a marathon. So I need all of the little protein I can get. All right. So right now Hero Bread is offering the DNVR fam a 10% off discount off their first order. Go to hero.co and use code DNVR to save on Hero Bread today. That's hero.co. Save 10% today. And listen, it's Friday today. Tomorrow it's Saturday. But Saturday Neon, oh boy, they're for every day of the week. This is a company started by two friends, two former roommates at CU. They now have a company where they are making officially licensed collegiate logo LED signs. They have them for 19 select schools across the country, including Colorado, Arizona, Alabama, Wisconsin, Auburn, and more. Go to their website, SaturdayNeon.com, to see all that they have going on there. But whether you're a diehard fan or a casual supporter, you're going to love the way these LED neon signs light up your space. And it's good stuff. It's great for offices, man caves, dorm rooms, basements, bar areas. We have their stuff on our sets too. I think the CU one is downstairs in our other studio. But great gifts. I can't say this enough. Christmas is coming up. It's November already. Start ordering this stuff now for the sports fan in your life. Again, go to SaturdayNeon.com. Use code DNVR. You are going to get 10% off your order today, and you're getting free shipping on orders over $200 as well. All right, guys. Will in the chat, the photo of Jon Gray in the parade hurts. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this parade. I was watching the parade on TV this morning. They had it on MLB Network because I don't know what other channels to put on right now. That's kind of my routine every single day. I turn on MLB Network, and I'm a depressed off-season girly right now. But I'm happy for Jon Gray. I'm so happy for Jon Gray. Seeing the pics of Jon Gray chugging his Budweiser, and I'm very happy for him. He's a great guy, one of the nicest guys in baseball. We have some picks too, Kale. We have a pick. We have a pick. Look at him. This is from Twitter. Thank you, Matthew Postins. At Poston's Postcard. Great Twitter handle. I love this picture of Jon Gray. He's in the back of this Ford truck, and he's got his hand up. He's with his family. He's chugging beers. Here's the thing. Okay, this is the question I want to know. Did you guys watch this parade? Also, did this parade seem really quiet and weird? Here's my theory. I think the fact that the roads in Texas are so wide, I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped make the parade look a little more lit. Also, they didn't, from what I could see, it did not look like they had proper floats. I saw one little thing, literally a piece of plywood being dragged behind an SUV. But all the players were in these individual Ford trucks as they drove through Arlington. And it just looked so empty. And also it wasn't players interacting with other players, chugging with their buds. It was they were just all individual in their own trucks. It seemed super quiet to me. To me, it did not seem like a lit parade. I would love some input if anyone else saw a different angle that I didn't see. I'm just concerned that maybe I'm sure the team themselves were ready to party. I don't know if the city of Arlington was ready to put together a party that I think a World Series winner deserved. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. But yeah. Oh, I think we have did you see the video that I put in the outline?
Oh no, but I can grab it real quick.
Yeah, there's a video. I think it's of Jon Gray just like really having a good time. While you're doing that, I'll read some more comments. We got Will here. The stadiums are in a big area in the suburbs, Arlington. They're not in the middle of downtown Dallas, surrounded by skyscrapers, which, yes, this is true. We're not talking about a parade that's going through downtown Dallas. We're talking about a parade that's going through a really big suburban city, Arlington. So, yeah, everything is super spread out. That's why people move to Arlington, because you got some space.
All right, I got the video.
All right, yeah, this is Jon Gray in the parade.
On the field, not all the stuff afterwards.
There we go.
That was a very truthful answer and one that really made me reflect.
Yes, because nobody was going to talk about the parade either until the game was over, until that final pitch was thrown and they
all right,
knew
so yeah,
that's
Jon Gray. That's Jon Gray moving through the parade. But you see what I'm talking about, Kale, right? Where it like...
Yeah, I've got a couple of theories about this.
Yeah, okay, lay them on me.
Number one, like, Arlington's not that big of a city.
Yeah.
So, like, there's just, like, are people going to drive? Like, there's Rangers fans all over the state.
Yeah.
How many people are going to drive 30 minutes to an hour plus just to go to a parade? Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like I use Denver because I've been to 2 parades in the last couple of years. Like, casual, I'll drop that.
Casual.
But, like, there's, like, a lot of people in the city of Denver that can just go to the parade, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least, like, the suburbs are all relatively close to the city. That's not necessarily the case in Texas.
That's a great point, too.
And, like, what's the population of Arlington? It's, like...
Kale's looking up the population of Arlington right now.
It's only 400,000 people, so that's like a small city.
Yeah. And I mean, like, again, like it's, you know, that metropolitan area is huge, but like Fort Worth is like a half hour away from Arlington. Dallas is like a half hour away. So like the 2 biggest cities that are near Arlington, little bit of a hike might be kind of tough to pull off on a work day. Does anyone even work anymore though?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like it's also a little weird to me. I mean, I know that's technically where they're based, but like it's a little weird to me that they didn't do the parade in Dallas. Like it's just a way bigger city and way more people can get there.
Yeah, you know, that's true. But then like I guess yeah, well, I guess like traditionally, like in a World Series parade, like everyone ends up at the stadium.
Yeah.
So like that's like, you know, so it's different than, you know, the past couple of parades that we've seen here in Denver. You know, we end them at City Hall.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
Yeah, but like typically, at least like I know when I went to the Phillies World Series parade in 2008, everything culminates at the end at the stadium.
So that's cool.
It is. It's really
but,
cool.
If the Rockies ever won, would it end at Coors since it's downtown?
I think it would.
But every other parade here, I mean, we haven't had a Rockies one, but every other parade here has always been in City Park.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because that's true. But I think like, you know, with at least like with World Series parades, it's like the parade's outside, the stadium's already outside. So I don't know. I just like never really, we haven't been close enough in a long time to really wonder where would a Rockies World Series parade be?
Yeah. But anyways, I just think, plus like the Rangers isn't the world's biggest fan base, you know,
it's not
like,
and we know that from the viewership numbers of this World Series.
Yeah. Which, you know, I mean, we can talk, that's a different point.
It is a whole different point.
I mean, I think there's a lot of contributing factors there. I don't think it's just the teams that were in the World Series. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot that's gone into just like kids. Like even a decade ago, when I was in high school, kids were still watching baseball, and I just don't know if that's true anymore. Like,
yeah, what are kids watching? I think kids are definitely more into the NBA right now.
Yeah, like there's just like it's not necessarily like sports, but like. And maybe this is just Denver because the Rockies have been bad for a while now. Mm-hmm. So like kids aren't growing up with good teams. Like I grew up during the Blake Street Bombers era. So like
it's different. Yeah,
totally different.
It was electric.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just like I don't know. Like maybe people aren't bringing their kids to the ballpark as much anymore. But attendance numbers in the MLB are good.
They are good.
So like I don't know
they're
why
actually
TV
like
viewership numbers are so down because in-person attendance is still doing really well.
Yeah, I think in-person attendance kind of went up across the board. Not necessarily with the Rockies, although I think like ranking wise, I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But I think the fact that games are shorter this year has made it easier for people to commit to going to a game. Because you're not going to be there until like midnight. You can get out of there at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, I was surprised, though. Although, it's interesting. I feel two ways about this.
Two ways.
I appreciate the pitch clock because I think it made it a much more compelling television product. Mm-hmm. So I like that.
Yeah.
But like going to games now, it almost goes too fast.
It flies by. You can't get enough food. You can't. I can't get beers fast enough.
Exactly. I'll get up between innings to go get a beer, and I come back and I've missed 3/4 of an inning because of the pitch clock. And I'm like, what just happened? I just went to get a beer.
Oh my gosh! I will say I waited. I was in the nacho line on in the 300 level at Coors Field at one point this season. Like every once in a while I get a game off and I'll still go to the stadium as a fan, like with my friends and stuff. But I legitimately missed 2 full innings waiting for nachos. Like I went to go get nachos for the whole group and I missed 2 innings. So that was kind of a bummer. Listen, we actually do have like some Rockies news to talk about, including a wish list that season ticket holders got in their inbox this week. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let's take a moment to talk about our friends at Backus & Schenker. Because if you are seriously hurt in an accident, Backus & Schenker is here to help you out. They've been doing it for more than 25 years here in Denver. They've won more than $1 billion for their clients. And the absolute best part is you are not spending a dime. You're not going to give them any money until they give you money, until you win money in that injury case. So here's the deal. Backus & Schenker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. So give them a call at 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free, because Backus & Schenker wins. And we should definitely talk about our good friends at FOCO too. How often do I have to tell you guys? Gift season. We got to start getting gifts for all the sports fans in our lives. And FOCO is a leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise. They've got apparel, accessories, collectibles, novelty items. Don't even get me started on the overalls. Y'all know I'm a big fan of them. They are the moment. They are the fashion accessory for this football season too. I have the Broncos overalls. They are fire. They've got Nuggets overalls too. And the Nuggets ones are actually very cool. Very, very cool. All right. FOCO always has our back as Colorado sports fans, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by using the link in our description. And for all non-presale items, use promo code DNVR for 10% off. All right. Let's talk about the wish list that we found out about. So Shannon on Twitter, Love Rocks. She's great. Thank you. Or Love the Rocks. My apologies, Shannon. Shannon is such a great Rockies Twitter personality because she is like all positivity and she's also like always giving stuff out. She posted this list of it's a wish list that season ticket holders got in their inboxes as they went to, I guess, renew their season tickets because the invoices went out. This is what she said on Twitter. Invoices went out, which means Dick Monfort's season recap letter probably isn't far behind. New this year, the season ticket holder wish list, events, and experiences. This is what she says. She says, I think it's awesome that they're making an effort to let season ticket holders do these things. So the list of, activities: a ceremonial first pitch, deliver a lineup card, watch batting practice, be the season ticket holder of the game where they put you on the video board in the 7th inning, take a pregame photo on the field, attend an autograph session. So these are some of the activities that they're asking season ticket holders if they would want to do. I feel like some of these are kind of big, like deliver the lineup card to the umpires before the game. Like that's like very important.
This is wild. I grew up with season tickets and we didn't get to do any of this stuff.
I think like they must be desperate.
Yeah, like this is wild. Like my dad has been a season ticket holder until the Nolan Arenado trade. But before that had been a season ticket holder since like opening pitch of the Rockies. And we didn't get to do any of this stuff. There was an autograph session at the end of the year with players, and that happened every year. But other than that, that is like none of this stuff was like normal for season ticket holders.
Oh my gosh. They must be nervous that people are not going to renew, especially after the 103 loss season.
That would be my take on this,
Yeah.
is that like they're trying to incentivize this as much as possible. I don't know.
I mean, it also seems like season ticket prices went up from what people were saying in the replies of that tweet. So Shannon herself said that the price of her season tickets is up about $120 for the full season as compared to last season, which I think is interesting too, because you have to keep in mind there's actually 2 less home games this upcoming season because the Mexico series will count as home games for the Rockies. Fascinating. So yeah, there's 2 less home games and the price went up. I mean, everything has gotten more expensive. Obviously, inflation is truly no joke. Like, Kale, a McChicken is $4.25. Did you know?
Everything is so expensive right now.
I remember when, like, I feel like sandwiches at Panera should be $4.25. You're telling me a McChicken?
I used to get a McChicken, 2 McDoubles, and a small fry for $5.
Not anymore.
Not
in this economy?
Not in this economy. I'm just telling you what like a common high school snack of mine was.
That's crazy. And you were not in high school that long ago.
No.
You were still a child. You were in high school 8 years ago?
9, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
not that long ago.
Not even a decade.
Not a decade ago. Oh my gosh. How's everyone doing? Hey, this show's free. This show is free. So yeah, what would you guys select from that season ticket wish list? Let me know in the comments. I think it's very interesting. I love a photo op. I don't know. One of them was playing catch on the field either before or after a game. That sounds so fun.
That sounds cool. I would definitely pick the first pitch because like that would make me feel famous for a moment.
You would be famous for a moment.
Exactly.
Who would you want? Who on this current Rockies team would you want to catch your first pitch?
Ooh. Who's my favorite Rocky right now?
Who is your favorite Rocky right now?
Probably Montero.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would want Elias Diaz to catch my first pitch.
Oh, I mean,
he's such a great catcher.
Yeah, he's such a great catcher.
Great catcher, great dude.
Or, I mean,
All-Star
like,
game MVP.
I might pick Kyle Freeland just because, like, hashtag I'm a Kyle Freeland guy, you know?
Of course, yeah. And like 2 Colorado natives.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'm picking Chris Bryant. And then he cracks his knees in half.
Yeah, then he cracks his knees in half and gets booed by the whole stadium.
Oh my gosh. No. The Will in the chat saying he would go with batting practice. Dude, batting practice actually would be fucking lit. I would love to do batting. I've never done batting practice at Coors Field. I watch it every day, but like I've never had an opportunity to do it. But I would love to see like how far I could get a ball to travel here in this air.
Yeah, it's wild that they raised prices with less games.
They raised prices and there's technically less games.
I don't love that. After the worst season in franchise history.
Mm-hmm. Like, are we using that money so we can sign some big price tag players without going broke, like the Padres?
I mean, I guess it's not unprecedented. Like the Rapids raised season ticket prices after like the horrible year they had too.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, they could. Fuck that.
Right? Like that's crazy.
That's crazy. It's soccer. Let's relax. It's men's soccer, okay? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's what's going on. If there are any season ticket holders listening, let me know. Forward me the email. I would actually just love to see the full email. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Dick Montfort has to say to the season ticket holder base. Because he addresses the team every year, and sometimes, more often than not, it's a little messy. It's a messy statement.
He almost always puts his foot in his mouth. And it's like remarkable because like, you know, he's just like sitting there, like writing it and sending it off.
He thinks he's cooking. He's like, oh, I'm really onto something.
Oh, I'm cooking here. And I'm like, bro, you have teams of PR people. Teams of them.
And like, you actually have
you can tell none of them proofread his message every year.
Rockies have like maybe the best comms team like in Denver. Like Rockies communications, like they are so good. They are on their shit, but he just sends all without letting any of them see it.
Truly wild.
He might
unhinged behavior.
He is an owner where I'm like, he needs a babysitter. Like he just needs like to have Rockies PR needs to do shifts where it's like, okay, I'm gonna stay with him today. You can stay with him tomorrow. He just needs supervision at all times. Oh my goodness. Guys, we are all laughs today. We're all laughs. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of Rockies news? All right. We're starting to see all these free agents pop up. The Rockies have a few free agents. Chris Flexen, Brent Suter, Chase Anderson. So all guys that like we haven't really gotten a chance to know very well. Although like Brent Suter, great pitcher, fantastic reliever. A plus personality. He's funny. He's kind. He is a hard worker. He is a joy to be around. Big fan of Chase Anderson too. We really got to know him this season. I feel like Chris Flexen is a guy that like I did not get to know super well. I mean, he came in pretty late in the season. He's definitely quieter. He like very much keeps to himself a little more than other players. Like every time we see him during media availability, or like very often when we see him, like he's got headphones in, he's in the zone. Like he is not here for distractions. But, I just saw this pop up on Twitter just a couple of minutes ago. Apparently, Cody Bellinger declined his mutual option with the Cubs and will become a free agent. That is what Jesse Rogers of ESPN is saying. That's crazy. If Cody Bellinger is a free agent again, oof, this is going to be a very juicy free agent market. We are going to... we're going to get into some more baseball news, some other free agent news in just a second. But real fast, let's talk about our friends at Illegal Pete's. Every time I talk about Illegal Pete's, I want to go order it. And that's great because we're right down the street. The Colfax location, always freaking lit. I love that patio. It's still patio season 2 this weekend. Keep that in mind. But yeah, Illegal Pete's. Where's my... hold on.
Burritos, buddies, and beer.
Thank you, Kale. Yes. Burritos, buddies, beer. They've got it all. And listen, the go-to spot for all of that. Personally, I'm going to go get some.
If you bring in an Avs or Nuggets ticket.
Oh, that's what you're looking
for. Yep.
That's the deal. Kale, you are very versed in the deal. Clearly, I do not know the deal. Apparently, if you bring in a ticket from the Avs or Nuggets, Kale, what do you get? You can score.
You get a free drink. This is great.
This is good. A free house marg or a draft beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a good deal.
What a great deal. I can't believe you had that right off the top of your head.
I am so prepared. I didn't know we had new information. This is new information to me too. Breaking news, if you bring in a ticket, you're going to get a bevy from Illegal Pete's. Thank you, Illegal Pete's, for all that you do. Thank you to my bosses also for not firing me today, because I deserve it. So let's talk about some free agents, because free agency, we're finding out who is a free agent, who's not a free agent. But we're not going to see like transactions until next week, because the real action doesn't start until 5 days after the conclusion of the World Series. Some old friends are free agents now. Mike Moustakas, Randall Grichuk, CJ Cron, Jurickson Profar, Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw's a free agent. Still playing baseball. Kevin Pillar, former Rockies legend.
Back to the Brian Shaw thing. I think Brian Shaw hates the Rockies more than Rockies fans hate Brian Shaw. And that's like a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, I mean, like
in a very real way, I think we could pay him $200 million and he would say, fuck the city of Denver.
He would.
I think he hates this place.
I mean, I probably would too if I was Brian Shaw. First of all, if the fan base hates me, and also like I did not pitch well there.
Horribly. And I mean, after a huge cash in.
yeah, that's fair. Hey, some other free agents on the market. Blake Snell is a free agent. Tommy Pham is a free agent. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Aaron Nola, Rhys Hoskins, Craig Kimbrell, God save us all. He is a free agent again. Every damn postseason, he is with a new team, stressing everyone out. But he's a free agent now. Zach Greinke, Jordan Montgomery is a free agent. All right, we got some like poppin' free agents out on the market. We are going to keep an eye on this. And also maybe Cody Bellinger is in there too. That is wild. Some World Series fun facts. Chris Young, the general manager of the Texas Rangers. He is one of 3 people in history to win a World Series as a general manager and a player. Pretty freaking cool. I loved watching... I'm not going to say love. I was fascinated watching all of the speeches once they got to the stadium at the conclusion of that parade, seeing Bruce Bochy complimenting Chris Young for the vision that he had and for being able to entice all of this talent, all those talented players to come to Texas. Y'all, I'm jealous. I wish we had a GM who was schmoozing guys like that. I don't know, like... I'm not saying Bill Schmidt is not charming, but like, he's not a Chris Young. I don't know. But yeah, I was jealous. I was jealous watching all the celebrations. But yeah, that's that. Guys, we have, we're going to start closing out the show. I promised you I'd tell you about a big giveaway. Guys, we have a big giveaway. DNVR partnered with MAA Milepost 35. It's a brand new rental community like in the Central Park area. This is an insane giveaway. So you could win a $100 gift card to the DNVR Sports Locker, and you would get $100 to the DNVR bar, $100 to Stoney's, $100 to Tom's in McGregor Square, $100 for Society Sports, and $100 at Brother Lodo, plus a custom print by Gus Reynolds. Okay, so you are getting like $600 plus worth of prizes. Oh, these are the prints, by the way, if you're watching us on YouTube. These are so nice. They are cool. They're like kind of minimalist-ish, kind of comic book, more comic book style. They're cool. These are really cool. These would look cool in your house, in your man cave. You could win one. I want to win one. I can't win. I'm not qualified. But you are qualified. Head to the DNVR Sports Instagram to find out how to enter. It's super easy. I promise you. And we got a Nuggets takeover this weekend.
Tomorrow night, first Nuggets takeover against the Bulls.
And I think right now is your last chance to get the takeover season pass, which I got. I got it.
You bought the season pass? Yeah, if you want the season pass, which gives you a discount on all 4 of our takeovers, it'll be cheaper than like if you were to have bought them face value immediately. Yeah. Which is great. Plus you get a ride to and from the DNVR bar and drinks on the bus and a chance to hang out and be on the show, all that fun stuff.
Drinks on the bus. I like that.
Last chance to buy those is tonight because the takeover is tomorrow. So you should do that.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, when I was looking at them, I did the math and I was like, oh, this is like, for the tickets that you're getting, cheaper than doing it at face value.
Yeah, lower bowl tickets, so they're super nice. We'll have a whole section together. It's going to be a blast.
And the party bus. You don't have to worry about parking at Ball Arena.
Which
I love that.
$35 now.
What?
Yeah, parking at Ball is $35 now.
In this economy?
I mean, that makes sense in this economy.
Yeah, in this economy, of course it is. That's rough. That is rough. Kale, I'm going to have a good weekend. Are you going to have a good weekend?
Yeah, I'm working both days, but it'll be a good weekend.
It's going to be a good weekend. I'm not working any of those days.
Happy for you.
I don't know what to do with myself with no baseball. If you have suggestions, please send me suggestions. I am at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. Kale, where can we follow you?
On Twitter, I'm at Kale Sorbo. On Instagram, I'm at Blue Eyes with a Backpack.
All right. And you can follow all the latest Rockies news at DNVR_Rockies. And Kale, you know what? I personally love to say about closing out a baseball show.
What do you say, Suzie?
I say, fuck it, we ball. Guys, we will be back right here Monday on the DNVR Sports YouTube channel at noon. Talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.